Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clayton Zoka, and welcome to another My Thoughts On. Today we'll be talking about Nien. Fun fact, it was released, and I am not kidding here, the 9th of the 9, 2000 and... No, not 2008, 2009. Get it? Nine's in the title. I bet someone gave it a 9 out of 10. Sorry. Yeah, we're going to talk about 9 for the release of Dumbo. I know what you're thinking. What has that got to do with Dumbo or Tim Burton? Well, it has nothing to do with Dumbo, but Tim Burton is... No, he's not the director. I wish, though. He's actually the producer of the movie. The film Nien is based on the short film directed by Shane Acker? Shane Acker? However you want to pronounce it. The Oscar-nominated short from 2006, I think. I don't know. So basically, Nien is about these ragdolls or steampunk dolls that are wandering the wasteland that used to be a perfect world, but now are taken over by machines. In this case, machine. If you want to know what I think of the short film is actually one of my favourite animated short films. It's creative, it's interesting, it's dark, it's intense. Animation is okay at the time from 2005. It looks decent for its concepts and ideas. And I'll give the movie credit for good visual story. Wait, did I say movie or short film? Anyways, short film for visual storytelling. It works completely and it doesn't feel forced. And there's no dialogue, which is good. I like me some visual storytelling. If you haven't seen the short film, I'll put the link in the description so you can go watch it. I will warn you, it is a bit scary. Not quite as scary as the film, but it is... it's not for everyone. So, funnily enough, I think Acker... Well, I'm going to call him Acker from now on, because I think that's how you pronounce his second name. I believe he got some funds, or he's trying to fund money for the movie Nien. And what do you know? It happened. The film was released, like I said, on the exact date with lots of nines. Oh, God. So many nine jokes I can make. Anyways, I didn't see the film when it came out because I was 9. I'm not joking. Fun fact, I think it was the first animated film that was 12A, or in the Americans, you would call it PG-13. I mean, I know there's like Mary and Max, which I think was... Wait, was it? I think Mary and Max was the first animated film that was 12A, and then Nien, and then I think Love and Vincent was 12A, Breadwinner was 12A. So yeah, I think Nien's one of the most rare occurrences for dark animated films. Most of them are PG, but this one is 12A, and for good reason. The film got mixed reviews when it came out. I know it's got a big fan base, like Legend of the... like Iron Giant, Legend of the Guardians, in a way. Not only because it's based on something, even though the other two are based on books. Nien is just based on a short film. So yeah, anyway, so what is Nien about? Basically like the short film, but there is actually more to it. So, you know the drill. Robots take over the Earth. There's actually 9 living ragdolls. In the short film, there was only 2. And the main character, Nien, voiced by Elijah Wood, has to find out what's going on. What are these machines? And where is everyone else? So he gets help from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the leader, 1, voiced by Christopher Plummer, who happens to voice Charles Muntz in Up. Same year also. How strange is that? And they have to try and survive and defeat this giant fabrication machine, which has this... I don't know what it's called, but it's something that these characters have to try and get to stop the machine, and also from killing them. I don't know, it's some sort of like device or something. I don't remember the name. So yeah, first off, the concept of the movie is fantastic. This is one of the best examples of post-apocalyptic, but at the same time creative and dark. It it knows that even if children watch it, it's not going to be all light-hearted. I mean, granted, there are like light-hearted moments, but there's not many. It goes fully dark. I love that it's sort of like this. It takes place, I think, like like World War Two or somewhere, which I know that's not really the case. But the scientist has this machine where he can transport his soul some into other objects like the 9 Ragdolls and the machine, which is also clever and also another way of, I guess, living on. The only other film I know that does that was Chappie, but I do not remember a lot about that, so I'll just move on. So Nien's idea and concept is amazing. In a short film it works, in a movie it can work if you have the right materials to do so. And does it work? Kind of. The expectations for me were kind of met. I mean, first off, when I saw the trailer, it looked amazing. It looked so cool and so awesome. The movie doesn't necessarily meet the expectations, but it's kind of there. Okay, I better get through the issues first. First off, the movie's predictable. I know you need a plot that fits the atmosphere and world, but if it's predictable and if you don't really care what's going on, besides, well, among other things, then you failed. Even though the movie kept my attention, I knew what was going to happen, I knew who was going to die, and it just never leaves any surprises. There is kind of one surprise I didn't see coming, but that's just about it. The humour, while it's not really funny, it's just more light-hearted. When it tries to be funny, it's just kind of brushed off and not very effective. But I will give it credit that it's not trying to be funny, it's supposed to be more serious, so I'll let it slide for now. But the main issue is just that it's just predictable and cliche. They could have done so much more with this if it was more, interesting. And also if the film was longer. It's like an hour and 16 minutes. But I won't slam the film too much, since this is, I think, the first film by Shane Acker in the film world. The positives are, besides the concept and idea, it is a very intense movie. There's lots of creative action, and it's really fun and exciting. That's quite cool and all. And we're going to talk about the imagery in a minute, but this film, damn it! Oh, I wanted to like this movie more than I should. Okay, I mean, I don't hate the movie. I just like it, but even though the concept is great, the plot needs a bit more work. I'm afraid so. Animation. Well, unlike the script, the animation is actually one of the many saving graces of the film, for the most part. Okay, pros. Like I said, the concept is amazing. Visually, it looks amazing, with many of its monsters, like the giant machine. There's the cat beasts. There's the pterodactyl. There are the spiders. There's this creature called the Seamus, which is so cool and creepy. The ragdolls are each identifiable, like 8, 1, 9, 6, 7, and all that. The backgrounds are pretty cool looking. It gives the film a really, really dark atmosphere. There's no bright colours in here. I mean, there is, but not like as in like kiddie colours. I mean, like, this is really down to earth and really grey as well. And like I said, the action is fun. It's also like I said, it's very creative. And it's a really cool looking animated film, I'll give it that. And the animation for the most part is great. However, it's not a very well rendered movie. There aren't any humans in the film. besides in well, not flashback, but in like presentations and whenever the characters have to visually tell you what's going on, even though it's not really visual in a visual way, the humans look terrible. Like this is like 2001 or something, and like one character looks like he's like from like a PlayStation 2 game or from that sorry, Sergeant Stubby. The character animation on the humans look like they just came from the recent Sergeant Stubby movie. Still haven't seen that, of course. But, like I said, I'm not going to bash the film since it is, I think, the first film that's, first animated film with Shane Acker and the animation, so I'll let it slide for now. So, what else can I say? The movie's just interesting. It has a lot of great ideas to show, and even if it's creepy or not, it still knows how to deliver them in a really interesting way. Too bad the animation at times can be very generic and the textures don't really mix well. But besides that, the animation's decent. Actually, if this film was made today and has like realistic animation with the humans and ragdolls and monsters, I think this movie, along with the animation, and the plot and characters, which we will get to, I think this movie could have been a lot better. But okay, animation's just okay. Well, was leaning more to good than okay, but it's pretty much in the middle. Characters and acting. Oh boy, if you're looking for well-developed characters, you're not really gonna find much here. Nien's just the protagonist, and he's not particularly interesting. I know he's the main character, but he's just not very interesting. I know he's the one that guides the other characters into hope, but he was just bland and boring. 8 is the bodyguard, who's also like a doofus to 1. A little bit like, he reminds me of the Ookie Bookie from The Nightmare Before Christmas, funny enough, also involved with Tim Burton. I kind of thought he was a villain I know he's not really the villain, but I don't know, him and this other character act a lot more like just like a bunch of dicks than villains. 7 is the rebel of the group, who's just like 9, not particularly interesting, just fine. 6 is quite interesting. He's like the crazy one who is trying to do research on this thing and try and see if it will stop this giant machine. 5's probably the best one. I think he's like more like the best friend to 9 and all of that. 4 and actually no, 4 and 3 are the best ones. 1, they don't talk. 2, they're actually interesting and they're helpful, and 3, they're actually probably the only characters that actually are quite funny. 2 is actually quite good, and 1 is probably the worst one. At first I thought he was one of the villains here, but he's more like the one who wants to hide and actually, care for his people. Then there are the machines, who are pretty much the better characters, although no development whatsoever. They are still interesting. The Cat Beast is cool. The Seamus is fucking intimidating. The Pterodactyl is scary, and the giant fabrication machine is just one of the more interesting villains out there. So cool, so creative, so interesting too. Although 3, 4, and 2 are the best characters, Fabrication Machine is actually the best character in the entire film. The other 3 I mentioned are just, they're the best ragdolls out of all of them, really. The characters here are just pretty basic and bland, but there's not much to them. Okay, they do kind of explain later on who they are, but that's not really saying much. And, the monsters are pretty cool. The voice acting is probably the worst thing about the movie. Nothing against this cast, like Elijah Wood, Jennifer Connelly, Christopher Plummer, John C. Reilly, Crispin Glover, Oh god, there's so many. What makes the short film work is, like I said, visual storytelling. No dialogue, no talking, just let the emotions and the scenery, aka visuals, happen in front of you. This one does, but at the same time they also explain a lot, which is either you don't understand or you just want them to be quiet. There's nothing wrong with explaining, but with a film like this needs visual storytelling. I mean, the acting here is just fine, but without them, I think this would have been a lot better. Elijah Wood is just okay as Nien. There's nothing really much to his vocals, and he just sounds like Elijah Wood. Christopher Plummer's probably the best one because he's American and his British accent and his very old man voice and trying to sound like he has authority and he must go to a safe place. Sounds quite amusing and very interesting. Jennifer Connelly's okay. John C. Reilly is also the second best because, well, he's John C. Reilly. Crispin Glover as Sixth is he's pretty much into it. The actor who plays 2 is quite good and very old and wise. 3 and 4 don't have any voice actors. 8, I forgot who voiced him, but I think it's the same actor who actually voices Soldier 76 from Overwatch. Yeah, I know, you learn something new every day, bruh. Yeah. Even if you got some cool characters and some pretty nifty voice acting, some of the voice acting is just okay, and most of the characters, especially the Ragdolls, are just bland. That and the voice acting, I don't think is necessary for this. On a side note, Danny Elfman's score is fantastic, and I always enjoy his scores. Any film that he ever does. Yeah, I mean, the first time I watched it, it was good, but just disappointing. Second time round, good. Slightly good, but still disappointing. Nien had all the right materials to make what could be one of the most interesting and well-crafted animated films of all time. Just came down to good. The concept is amazing. The animation has a lot of great ideas with it, and it is technically a well-made film. Some of the voice acting is good while unneeded, and the machines are so damn interesting. However, with a cliched and predictable plot, basic and I'm gonna say slightly dated animation, generic cast of characters, and really unneeded voice acting, even if it's okay, it just makes the film watchable at best. Oh no, I don't mean for everyone, since it is still just scary and intense. But you know, it's good. Even though the short film is like 10 times better, I say do give this one a watch. It is interesting. If you like horror animated films or just like really interesting and cool concepts, and if you want to like get inspiration, I do recommend this one. Although I do highly recommend the short film, which is like I said, better. So I do not plan to do the sorry. I don't plan to do the original Dumbo film at all because I mean I want to, but I haven't seen it in ages, and I won't have enough time for it. So yeah, so next will be the Dumbo remake, which I am scared. Please, Mr. Burson, please don't ruin my childhood. Okay, so with Nien, have you seen Nien? Is it good, bad, or in the middle? I would like to know what you think in the comments below. I'm quite interested, honestly. Yeah, so here's the rating. The rating, I think I gave it a 6.9, I think. But just to be safe, I'm going to give it a 6.7. So, sorry about that. So if you're fans of Nien, which I know there are so many of you, please respect my opinion. Don't criticize me because I don't think it's great. Don't say, oh, you hate the film because it doesn't do as much as the short film. I don't hate the film. I think it's good, but it doesn't do enough to be better. Sometimes things are better off as what they are, like Like adverts. If there was like a PG Tips movie with the monkey and owl, I'd watch it. Although that sounds stupid, but I'll watch it. But things are better off as they are. Nien is better off as a short film. But if anyone's willing to remake the movie with better animation, I'm up for it. Make it longer and no dialogue. You can maybe keep the Ragdolls, but I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And until next time, bye for now.